All right, hello everybody. I want to talk about something that's so freaking important, which is your numbers. Knowing your numbers on Amazon is so freaking important. It's just ridiculous. I mean, so important. And I guess I'll start off with a story. And I want to talk about my own company in May of, I want to say 2017, but it might have been as recent as 2018. Let me just do the math real fast. Okay, 2017. May 2017, our company was almost about to fall and crash and burn to the ground because I did not have any tracking of actually the profit of the company, this Amazon company. It was all about sales. And I was excited about sales. I'm like, woohoo! I think we got to like right around that time, maybe $100,000 in sales a month. Something like that. If I'm not mistaken, that's like when I quit my job. Started Amazon. I was like, wow, let's go heavy. Boom. How are we going to blow this up? Hired a few people and was going really excited and crazy. But what ended up happening is I hired a person to do some ads and I was like, trained them everything. And we did a bunch of spreadsheets and we did a bunch of stuff and like kept track of every change and all this crazy stuff. And I was like, whoa, this company looks like it's doing amazing. So then I let this person continue and I kind of stepped away from that and I went to do something else and whatever. I was like, wait, what's happening here? How much money are we actually making? Can you imagine? It's literally $1 million company at that point. And I don't know what my profit is. And you'd think that this is a weird thing. But it's happened. I mean, I know several people they're either not profitable and selling $1 million or more. Or they have no idea how much they're making. And it could be really small, like 1% of the total sales. So on $1 million, that's $10,000. I mean, it's like, well, $10,000 in a year, you sell $1 million. That's like something's really wrong with that scenario. So I want to talk about numbers, okay? Because I had to lay off people, turn down my ads big time. I had to do so much stuff because it was a disaster. The company was falling apart, and I didn't even know. So actually, from that, I then decided to make this software called Samurai Seller, okay? And I have this account here that's a pretty small account. Doesn't have a lot of info on it, but it has a lot of numbers in here. And we'll go over some of that, but I'm going to first talk about it kind of more on a general level on what it means to know your numbers. So I want to show you, let's take a look at just this since we have, let's talk about a banana slicer. Okay. I like the banana slicer. If you read the reviews, they're really funny. Here. Okay, so if you're selling this, first of all, you need to know a couple things, okay? How much is Amazon charging me, okay, to sell this product? You should know that. Like, it's a pretty simple thing, but you need to know. Because if you don't know, you may lose money on every sale. Or you may make money on every sale, quote unquote, whatever, but then your cost of your product and then you lose money. And it changes, your fees change if you increase your price or lower your price. It's not a fixed fee. So, it's just important. You need to know that. You need to know. That's all I'm trying to say. You need to know these numbers. And we're going to go into these numbers very deep. And the software that I've created or we've created, because it's a whole team, it's not just me. But I want to present the software to help you keep track of this stuff. Because it's like so important. It's just crazy. So this product right here, it costs $6.59. So I'm going to do some math. Here we go. Calculator. Oh, God. My spelling's not good. Okay, so 59? All right, so $6.59. Amazon will charge you 15%, so you're gonna take home only 85%. So I multiply by 0.85. That's how you do math here. Or then Amazon will give you $5.60. Let me just do it another way, just so you can see that that is true. You do percentage 85. Same thing. Okay, same thing. So they take 15%. You're left with this. This is called your payout. Okay, that's how much Amazon's going to pay you. However, that's not really true, because if Amazon is shipping it for you, it's actually going to cost you more. For a product like this, I'll tell you right now, the shipping is right around $3.28. I know that just because I ship products like this all the time. So now you subtract $3.28. So now Amazon will pay you $2.32 for this product. There's some differences, right? There's different programs you could sign up for, but really you should be doing Fulfilled by Amazon, and that's how much it'll cost you in that program. So Amazon's paying you $2.32. Now, how much did your banana slicer cost you? Okay, Because if it costs you $2, you only made 30 cents. And if you paid for an ad, that was 30 cents for a click, then you literally made no money. Or let's put it this way. What if you sell a lot of these and each product costs you $1 and you only spent 30 cents per unit on ads and you made $1 on each one? Awesome. Okay. So now you sell 50 of these every day. You made $50 a day. Awesome. And then you hire somebody. Let's just say $15 an hour for 8 hours. You're paying that person. If they're a $15 an hour employee, you're going to pay $120 every single day. So if you're selling 50 of those banana slicers every day, you do not cover someone's salary. So you need to know this stuff, because what's happening is you might get excited. Well, I have a company that's selling all this money, but hey, your profit's actually not very high. And in this case, it would be negative if you hired somebody. Even if you hired somebody part-time, 4 hours a day at 15 hours, you literally are losing money. And if you have employment tax or any sort of tax on top of that, you lose some more money after that. And then you're losing even more money. So how important is to know your numbers? Super freaking important, especially if you're selling more than, I'd say, $3,000, $5,000 per month. I mean, like, I made a mistake and I started really tracking this after 100,000, and when I almost bankrupt the company. Do not be like me. Do not do that. It's bad. It's not cool when you go, oh crap, the whole company's doing $500 profit a day. Oh, we have 3 employees, and I go, woohoo! Holy crap! And it had done more in the past, but because of some changes and I didn't pay attention, then it went down and I didn't notice. Okay, we increased more on ads, we did more on this, we changed this price over there. With little changes, you can take your profit per day from $1,500 to $500 very easily if you're not actually looking at that thing. So that's where this software comes into play, and I'm gonna talk about that. Okay, so I think I went over the fees pretty good. There's some other numbers just to realize. Let's talk about this example again. Let's say the product costs you $1, okay, and you're taking home $1. Okay, so it costs you $1, and you're taking home $1 like after your product cost. So Amazon pays you $2, let's say, or Amazon pays you 2.3, but then you spent 30 cents on ads. So now you're at $2. That's what's called a 100% return, because you put in $1, you got out $2, meaning you profited $1. So you got your money, you doubled it. When you double your money, that's 100% return. Okay, 0% return is you put your money in, you got just that money back. You literally had no return. You had your investment was not remunerative, did not make any money. That would be 0%. Put in $1, get $1. Put in $1, and you get back $2, meaning one profit. That's 100%. Okay, that's what's called ROI. And in this dashboard, if you see it, you have here ROIs, ROI, ROI. Now I want to then show you another thing. There's a difference between a gross ROI and a net ROI. Oh god, oh god. So I hope you guys, these are pretty common words, meaning the gross and the net in any financial area. But listen, you may not know it. Okay, what is gross and what is net, and it changes by whoever you talk to. It's a little bit crazy, but gross, let's just say that's without anything subtracted. Okay, so your gross ROI, in this case, with this banana product, $6.56, and then you got a 15-cent fee, and you paid Amazon $3.28. Okay, you got $2.29. Your gross ROI is actually gonna be 2.3. Okay, minus the 1. That's how much Amazon pays you. Oh, geez, they're paying you 1.3, and then you put in 1. So your gross ROI is 130%. So you do this, and you multiply it by 100. 130%. That is your gross ROI. But then if you spent the 30 cents or another 30% of that $1 you put in, okay, then it goes down from 130 to 100. Now, I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, sorry, I don't know what to say. But this will calculate it for you. If you literally log into samuraiseller.com, you can sign up. There's a trial on there. It's actually very cheap. We made it cheap, especially for beginners. It costs you like very, very freaking little. But you can put the information in here. Now, this is your gross ROI. It starts to say 130, and in this example, you spent 30 cents for ads on average. Then it would go down to 100%. That would be your net. Your net is after the spend. And here, if you hover over, it tells you what it is. So here, it's sales minus your cost of goods minus the fees, which we did, divided by cost of goods. Okay, and it would say times 100, right? But you don't need to say that because it's kind of self-explanatory. So the tooltips may or may not be super helpful, but I just showed you the example over there on the other tab. The net ROI is that, but you take away the ad spend, okay? You also take away the storage fees and also take away the returns. So if you got returns, then obviously you lose money there, and it should be calculated in your net because that is what actually you're taking. If someone refunded it, you don't get that money, so you would be losing money. If you only sold one banana slicer and it got refunded, you lost a bunch of money. So it should say that. Okay, good. So those are these two numbers. I hope that is pretty good. That's a good number to pay attention to. And again, that's the number. It says right there what it is. Your sale price, what your ad spend is, what's your goods cost, which you can enter right here. We'll press update, enters your cost of goods right here. COGS means cost of goods. That's pretty cool. Returns, and then divided by cost of goods. Perfect. That's pretty simple. Those two numbers are pretty good. Okay, let's look at the rest of this little dashboard right here because it's pretty cool, and you could search the different date ranges, and it's going to show it to you. Let's go by product. Okay, we can do the ones at the top later. So here's my product. You have the picture of the product, you have the title of the product, you have the SKU, you have your ASIN, then you have how much it sold. That's pretty easy. Like how much it sold is like a very, very simple, okay? Literally the price that you charge your customers for the product, pretty easy. But then if you hover over it, it'll tell you the average price per unit, which is helpful in some cases to know, over 14 days. Then your total ad spend. This actually reads into Seller Central and collects the data from Seller Central, and will tell you how much you spent total on this SKU in that time period. Cool. That's pretty awesome. This is your total ACoS. They call this tacos. Okay, your total ACoS is the absolute total spend divided by the sales. So what that mean? Yeah, it's right there. Total ad spend divided by sales. So here is literally less than $1 divided by $104, right? And that gives you less than 1%. So this means for all of the sales that I did, I spent less than 1% total to pay this advertiser product, regardless of if it made any sales. This does not mean literally you could get no sales. You could just spend money, get no sales. It would still calculate there because it's a relationship between how much you sold in total and your how much you spent, and then how much you sold in total. Now this is good. Okay, this is a good thing to know because if your product, in this case, I'm only spending 1% or this account or whatever, but let's say this was 30%, right? That would mean that for every $10 of banana slicer that you sold, for every $10, so if you sold $1,000, okay, sorry, what did I say? 30%, yes. If you sold 1,000 of these, $1,000, I mean, then you would have spent $300 in ads. That doesn't mean like if you were effective on those ads or anything. No, it's just all for 1,000 was your total sales. Your total ad spend was 300. That would be 30%. Now, this total number is very, 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 very important because check this out. If your profit margin, now we're getting crazy because now you need to know all these numbers. But back to this example, okay? If you only made it $1.30 as your gross profit, right? Which is what's it? Not the return on investment. Let's ignore return on investment. This is now your profit margin, okay? $1.30, okay, is your gross profit, and the product price is $6.59. This means that your profit margin is 19.7%. Okay. I hope I'm not going too crazy on this. I know some of you will probably have to look at this a few times or whatnot, but let's go back to the $6.59. Okay. The $1.30 is your total profit. Okay, before ad spend, before storage fees, before returns, refunds, before your salaries, before anything. Okay, this is just how much money I made on a sale, and then this is your total sale price. So your percentage is 19.8% or 19.7. Sorry, that's rounded down. So again, that's times 100 or whatever. So if your total ACoS right here is more than 19.7 for that product, if that product were here, you would be losing money, period. Okay, and let's talk about why that is. If you sold 600, let's do real numbers here. You sold $649 of this banana slicer. Boom! So how much would be your profit? This is basically your sales. You take away the Amazon fee, and you take away your cost of goods. Okay, so your profit would be $1, $130, right? Boom, that's pretty good. So profit is there. Da da da. So how much did you make? I bet you it's 19.7%. So let's do 130 bucks. Right? $130 divided by 659, right? Boom, 19.7. Okay. So now, what does it mean if your total ACOS was, let's say, 20%? Well, that would mean you spent probably somewhere around $140 in ads. Now, hold on, that would be really not smart. So let's see if you did that. Let's look at this, and I spent 20%. See how much that is. $131. Okay, so if your profit before you take away the ads is $130, but you happen to spend $132 on ads, how much money did you make, ladies and gentlemen? I hope in your mind you said zero, or you lost $1. You lost $2. Now, this doesn't take into account the time that you spend. If you're doing this, well, obviously, let's just say you spent, 18%. Let's just be kind. Okay, you spent 18%. So now on these 100 banana slicers that you sold, okay, you profited 130, but then you spent 118 on ads. You are now officially rich. You made $12. Now, how many hours did you spend to put this thing up? Let's see if you want to work for 50 cents an hour. If the answer is no, then don't do this stupid shit. Okay, so, sorry, I'm going to be happy and good. This is bad. You need to know these numbers because it's very easy that you mess up and you go, oh, wow, I spent 18% on my ads and my profit margin is 17 point, whatever the number was, 19.7 or 7. Yeah, there you go. So those numbers are here. You can find it in Samurai. And I made this so people don't have to make the mistake that I did because it sucks. It sucks when you have to lay people off because you made a mistake, not because they made a mistake. It's really not a great feeling. So here's your growth. This product has a very high profit margin, 64%. Okay, and in this case, it literally only spent 0.8% in total ACOS. So literally, the net profit margin is 63.52%. What does that mean? That means that for every $100 of this product that is sold, the actual take-home money in your pocket, theoretically, right, is $63.52. Okay, this is amazing. This is a super, super high, and this is because we're not running ads. It's a small account. We're not even really paying attention to it, and it's not anyway. Okay, so why am I talking about this? If your profit margin is 19%, your gross profit margin before ads, that's probably pretty bad. Like, I would say, like, to be kind of healthy, you generally want it to have at least around 30%. Maybe 25 is cutting it kind of short. 20 is probably pretty bad. 10% is like really, really bad. Why? Because you can't even spend 5% on ads and then not be in jeopardy of losing money because you have 2% returns. You have to spend on ads and you pay on storage, and then boom, you're pretty much at zero. Then you have to then juggle things like your salaries, okay, and maybe your rent, and maybe the cost of the software, and maybe the cost of the professional selling account for Amazon, plus the cost of whatever it is, okay? And that you can put in here. See, I put here the Amazon Pro account fee is $40, okay? So in 14 days, it costs $18. You see, this takes that into account for you. So then you can check your profit per day right here. In this case, $4. Woo! I'm rich. Okay, good. Total profit in 14 days here is $55, okay, on this account. Now, what you need to know, if you look at your total profit and then you check out your profit per day right here, if your profit per day, okay, your profit per day is not higher than your cost here, and, well, in this particular software, you can enter these other costs like salary and stuff like that, and then as long as this is still up there, then you're good, okay? But if you didn't enter your costs and your profit per day is, let's say, I don't know, let's say it's $1,000, and then you have 3 employees, and they each are earning $180 salary a day or something like that, you're quickly gonna be losing a lot of stuff. And then let's say you have the rent, and then you have I don't know what else you'd have to pay for. Maybe a designer that you pay for. You just need to pay attention to these things. I guess this is what I'm just trying to get at, and I'm trying to then explain the software. So that's the total ACoS right there. And then ad sales. Okay, this is how much you made from that ad spend. Okay, in this case, price of 1 unit right here, $14.99. Average ACoS. Now this is total ad spend divided by total ad sales. So this is how efficient your ads were. And there you go. So if it was efficient, this is a very, very, very good ACoS, 5.6%. This is pretty amazing. Organic sales. Okay, how much was organic? Perfect, 85%. Units sold total in that time period. Units sold per day, half a unit per day on average. Cost of goods is how much it cost. These are your fees, and here you have your total fees. That's kind of your aggregate. It has a referral fee, which is a 15%. I'm gonna move on. Okay, so this right here is your fees. Okay, this is your combined fees for this product, and then you have your storage fees. Then you have the returns, and then you have your net profit. This is your profit after the deductions. Here you have we already talked about this. We already talked about this. Profit per unit, good. Profit per day, awesome. Gross ROI, we talked about that. Net ROI, we talked about that. And then how much stock we have left. In this case, it's 0. This product is out of stock. Okay, good. This is a very, very brief introduction to this page. There's a lot of stuff up here. But generally speaking, that's kind of what the margin means. And a very important thing to look at is here is your gross profit margin and your total ACoS right here. And those two numbers, you can't, you got to know what they are, because then you know if you could spend more or you could spend less or whatever. You have like buttons over here. You can see how much you sold the previous time. You could print this page, download the comma separated values at CSV, this information in a big spreadsheet. If you have a bigger company, that might be important. You can hide different columns here. I'll refresh the page. Okay, that's a brief overview. Please pay attention to your sales. Input your stuff into here, and then if you do that well and you put these costs in here, you basically don't have to do all the work. I did the work for you. I wish somebody did this for me. I didn't have this originally. So if you put in the cost of your product, it will calculate all your fees for you and then tell you what your actual profit was. Highly recommend that you do that. Thank you guys.